JMats here, GenerationD20.com, bringing you the final round of my Magic Online Championship Series Season 9 quest for what had turned out to be nothing. At this point, I am 7-2, hoping to get to 8-2. My limited rating got up to 1815 in the course of this tournament, and it was somewhere in the 1700s before I started, so that's good. And would you like to mulligan to 6 cards? No, that's a keeper. That's a curving 1, 2, and 3 drop. Gandalf had to mulligan to 5. I'm alright with that. Pride Guardian has been better than I thought it might be. Not that I was thrilled to put it in my deck. I don't think you're ever thrilled to have a Pride Guardian, but in a speedy format like this, where you're sailing through the air, having a defender on the ground, gaining a little life and slow him down is well worth it. And getting out the Pegasus and then into the Drake. That's a pretty good start. Ice Gauge is unfortunate, but not anywhere near end of the world. And there's another body to soar through the air. Crown of Empires, at this point in the game, I don't really fear it. Where it really, I feel it gets powerful is later when you have the mana to be able to do it and something else. Like if he's spending every turn and all of his mana tapping down my creatures, then so be it. And that's why I even put out that Phantasmal Bear. Like, I would love for his next turn to be spent killing my Phantasmal Bear. I know I don't really have an answer outside of Oblivion Ring to the Crown of Empires, so just keeping him around and hoping that I come up with an answer, might as well play it out. And because of that, he wasn't able to get anything out onto the field. Wasn't able to tap down my Drake, so that's 3 more damage that got in. And so now, if I can, get another threat. Then it just puts him in that awkward position where, is he going to spend his whole turn tapping one of my guys, or is he going to cast something and I end up getting in with a couple of my guys? And that's what like I said, why I don't like the Crown early in the game. Now if I can get any of my removal spells, I would be pretty happy. But for now, since I don't have it, I think just getting another body out on the board, he can't be playing Day of Judgment. That's the only board wiper, so I don't really fear overextending myself. And as soon as I get Frost Breath, I could swoop in and do some serious damage. Put him on a very short clock. Nice thing there is, like, honestly, with a Frost Breath, I could swing in for the kill. Very close, just through the air. And really anything to kill his dragon, then I'm attacking for 10 in the air. Maybe 7 if he taps it down with the crown, but I have a good board state. The Cudgel Troll. If he got crazy and really attacked in with it, I would probably just all-out attack in response. Interesting. Another removal spell. And despite the fact that I have a glut of removal, I'm not drawing any. Fortunately, I'm not drawing like my black ones and not having a swamp to cast it. That'd be even worse than getting none at all. I was thinking mind control. Ugh. Well, I certainly don't like that. In my personal experience, I've only had cracked a Garrick once in a draft, and it didn't go well for me. But when I've played against Garrick on many occasions, it has turned pretty ugly. Okay, Oblivion Ring is perfect. I can get rid of that dragon and be able to attack in over his head to get to Garrick and also get to the player. This really will put him on a pretty short clock. So I'm going to get in for 3. So he'll be at 9. It's not a bad move. Essentially, I'm trading it for a beast token, most likely, but his token's 3/3, mine's only 2/2. So I could see where I was coming from on that. And now he either has to keep up Crown of Empires mana and still get hit for 4, or if he taps for a threat. Yep. That's kind of an interesting choice for what to mind control. I guess he wanted to make sure he got through. So I wasn't going to block with a Griffin Sentinel anyway. In my mind, I would rather come up with an answer and keep my guys. So I don't attack in. Unfortunately, he can attack in and I can't block, which could become a bad situation before too long, but for now I'm still not that concerned about it. It's still going pretty well. And good, once again, he can't Crown of Empires, so if I could come up with a mind control. So mind control, his mind control. Take back the friendly or unfriendly skies. And get through for 6. And that really does put him on like top deck duty. To try to find an answer. I have the Pride Guardian and the Griffin Sentinel as possible ways to defend, and he scoops. So that could have, I think, gone even. I mean, I ran over him pretty hard, but it could have gone even better. I see no reason to get rid of the black removal in the deck that he was playing. Doom Blades would be very powerful. I don't know what I'm thinking about here. But in all honesty, I think I should submit. And hopefully I did just that. But apparently I decided to wait for a while. You know, it's been long enough now that I can't really remember if I guess I just submitted. Could have taken a piss break or something. I do know at this point in the course of the tournament, my wife was pretty antsy about me getting done. It was significantly later than I had told her it was going to be, because I didn't realize just how long it took to play 10 rounds of sealed Magic. I was kind of using like pre-releases as a base, and I didn't even know it was going to be 10 rounds. I didn't realize that 600 people showed up for these things. So this was an interesting keep. No planes, means that I took looter. Hurts, for sure. As far as missing the land drop, that maybe is about as good as you're going to get when you have Mono Leak up and they can hopefully present some threat. Like in this case, Crown of Empires. I have no way to answer it if it ever gets there. I know I spent all that time telling you about why I didn't care, but when they have advantageous board state, then I actually do care a little bit more about it, because if he can tap down my one threat and be beating with his bear, it could get ugly pretty quick. Here I went with highest power on table. I figure I can take a couple hits from that bear until he gives me something good to frost breath it with. Here would be, I'm assuming I would play Assault Griffin, get another 3 force flying through the air to establish my board state a little bit more. And in combination with, whatever I hopefully can play next turn, could be 3 turns away from damaging, dealing lethal. And like I said before, I'm really happy to have that frost breath. So if a threat that I can't answer comes up, I can buy myself some time. Then the flip side of it is, neither of my flyers are better than his flyer. So would I rather use a removal spell to get rid of his Drake, or would I rather use one of my 2 flyers? And considering that he is giving up more than I am giving up, that's a way to earn a little bit of advantage, not necessarily card advantage, but just power advantage. And I can get the veteran out there and potentially be attacking in for the same amount of force next turn. If I do get another land, I could do Sentinel and Frost Breath. Have to see what he plays. Alright, so a Rhino isn't necessarily a threat, but drawing that second Frost Breath pretty much, well, I guess it didn't for me. I was going to say that pretty much just tells me to do it, but I guess if you get that damage in, he's not going to kill me next turn, and then I can lock him down for a couple more turns, be dealing 4 a turn instead of 3 a turn, which means he's on a 3-turn clock instead of a 4-turn clock. So there's definitely advantage to it. Here, he's going for the cards, so that tells me the 2 cards he already had were not real dangerous, and he was kind of sweating it. And that's unfortunate. But having 2 Frost Breaths and being able to kill one of his creatures and have the other one not be able to block the Metal Veteran for a couple turns, it means I'm still getting through for some decent damage. Also, having that other Frost Breath just waiting, he plays the threat. I maybe pink for 1 or see what happens. I know, activate windows. I get it. So 4 cards, he must have some answer, you would think. Let's hope he spends all of his mana on 1 answer. And Basilisk is a lot of mana for 1 answer. And so here, it's kind of like, do I just go for it? Do I tap down the 2 defenders to try to get in? 4 next turn. And to make the most efficient use of mana, I said go for it. The good thing about that is if I get in 4, oh, and that is perfect. Get in 4, let him think he has a pretty good defense next turn, and then surprise bounce a threat if one is posed, or if he's sitting back with that rhino and thinking that's going to win it for him. And Cudgel Troll comes out. Okay. So it kind of depends on how aggressive he is. If he attacks, and he did, then I win. Then it's pop the troll to his hand, attack with the veteran, and I even had options on pick your kill method. Sure enough. Well, that's 8 and 2. That exceeds expectations that I had, and certainly your expectations. So I'll see you later.